Well, hi, this is Jay Arthur, author of Lean Six Sigma Demystified and the QI Macros. I was recently at a conference at a trade show, and I was looking at all the poster presentations. And now part of the requirements for being certified as a magnet hospital is you have to be able to show improvement trends. Well, I looked at a lot of these charts and graphs, and so you'd see a line chart. They were using line charts, right? Mainly line and bar charts. Sometimes it would a bar chart like this, and then they would fit a trend line on there. Now, what's the matter with this? It looks like there's a downward trend in whatever it was, right? So does that really prove there was a downward trend? Well, no, because one of the things about this line, it's just a fit of a line to this data. Now there's what's called a goodness of fit test. And the goodness of fit test will give you a value called R squared. And R squared has to be greater than 0.8. And when I looked at a lot of these charts, it was like 0.5. So that means you only have a 50% chance that this line represents that data. So would you want to really say that, hey, we made an improvement? If there's only a 50% chance that that line fits your data at all? No. Right? I think I saw one chart where the R squared was actually 0.82, but the vast majority of them 0.5, 0.4, 0.3. So trend lines are not improvements. Don't pretend they are. If you don't put an R squared on your trend line so that I can tell that it's actually a good fit to your data, then you haven't made an improvement. Now the funny thing about this was when you actually put this into a control chart, you could very quickly tell if the process was just stable, right? So we'd add an upper and lower control limits and watch, there were no out of control points. But then some of the charts had some interesting things where the data went down and started doing this. Now the fit of the line still was less than an 80%, but this, if you did it as a control chart, you could very quickly show that this was a new level of process performance. So trends and trend lines are not improvements. If you can't show me an R squared of at least 0.8, no fit, right? But if you did it with a control chart, you wouldn't have to worry about this. So trend lines, not improvements. And I want you to question everyone that you see that doesn't have an R squared on it, because it's just hallucinations. Just hallucinations. I'm Jay Arthur. That's my improvement insight for this week. Let's create a hassle-free America. Let's create a hassle-free world.